beginning, there was nothing but God. No light, no darkness, no earth, no sky. Everything that would ever exist was yet to come into being. The universe was formless and empty, a vast void without shape or substance. Darkness covered the surface of the deep waters, and the Spirit of God hovered over the waters, moving across the face of the depths like a gentle wind preparing for what was to come. Then God spoke. His voice broke through the silence and emptiness with words of creative power. He said, "Let there be light," and instantly light burst forth into existence. It was not the light of the sun or moon or stars, for these had not yet been made, but light itself, pure and radiant, illuminating the darkness. God saw that the light was good, and he separated the light from the darkness. He called the light day, and the darkness he called night. This was a division, a distinction between two states of being. Evening came, and then morning followed, marking the completion of the first day of creation. On the second day, God spoke again. He commanded that there be an expanse in the midst of the waters, a great vault that would separate water from water. This expanse he called the sky, or the heavens. It was like a dome stretching across the cosmos, dividing the waters that were above from the waters that were below. The expanse held the upper waters in place while allowing the lower waters to remain beneath. God established this separation, creating space and atmosphere, the realm where birds would one day fly and clouds would drift. Evening came and morning followed, and the second day was complete. The third day brought multiple acts of creation. God said, "Let the waters under the sky be gathered together into one place so that dry ground would appear." The waters obeyed his command, flowing and pooling into seas and oceans, while solid land rose up and emerged from beneath the waters. God called the dry ground land, and the gathered waters he called seas. He looked at what he had made and saw that it was good. But the third day was not finished. God spoke again and commanded the land to produce vegetation. He called forth plants bearing seed according to their various kinds, and trees bearing fruit with seed in it according to their kinds. The earth responded to his word, and suddenly the barren ground burst into life. Grass sprouted, flowers bloomed, shrubs grew, and trees stretched upward with branches laden with fruit. Each plant had within it the seed to reproduce after its own kind, ensuring that life would continue generation after generation. The earth became green and living, covered with an endless variety of vegetation. God saw that this too was good. Evening came and morning followed, and the third day was complete. On the fourth day, God turned his attention to the expanse of the sky that he had created on the second day. He said, "Let there be lights in the expanse to separate the day from." He commanded the creatures of the sea to fill the waters and the birds to increase on the earth. This blessing gave them the ability and the mandate to reproduce, to multiply, to spread throughout the waters and the seas. Evening came and morning followed, and the fifth day was complete. The sixth day was the crowning day of creation. God said, "Let the land produce living creatures according to their kinds, livestock and creatures that move along the ground and wild animals, each according to its kind." The earth brought forth an incredible array of animal life. Cattle and domesticated animals appeared, creatures that would one day serve humanity. Wild animals of every description came into being, from the mighty and fierce to the small and timid. Creatures that move along the ground, reptiles and insects and every creeping thing, emerged in countless varieties. Each animal was made according to its kind, with the ability to reproduce after its own kind. God saw that this was good. But God was not finished with the sixth day. After creating all the animals, God did something different, something special. He said, "Let us make man in our image, in our likeness, and let them rule over the fish of the sea and the birds of the air, over the livestock, over all the earth, and over all the creatures that move along the ground." This was a unique creation, unlike anything else God had made. Humans would bear the image of God, reflecting his nature in ways that no other creature could. They would have dominion and authority over all the other creatures, serving as stewards and rulers of the earth. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God he created him. Male and female he created them. This was the pinnacle of creation, the creature that would most fully reflect the nature and character of the Creator. Humans were made with the capacity for relationship with God, with the ability to think and reason and create, with moral awareness and spiritual sensitivity. God blessed them their mandate. He told them to be fruitful and increase in number, to fill the earth and subdue it. He gave them authority to rule over the fish of the sea and the birds of the air, and over every living creature that moves on the ground. This was their calling and their responsibility. Then God provided for their needs. He told them that he was giving them every seed-bearing plant on the face of the whole earth, and every tree that has fruit with seed in it for their food. The vegetation that had sprung up on the third day would sustain human life. God also provided for the animals, giving every green plant to the beasts of the earth and the birds of the air, and all the creatures that move on the ground, everything that has the breath of life in it. The entire creation was sustained by what God had made. God looked at everything he had made, surveying all of creation from the light to the darkness, from the sky to the seas, from the land to the vegetation, from the sun and moon and stars to the fish and birds and animals, and finally to humanity made in his image. He saw all that he had made, and it was very good. Not merely good as the individual days had been pronounced, but very good, supremely good, perfectly good. Everything was exactly as it should be, functioning in harmony, beautiful and purposeful and complete. Evening came and morning followed, and the sixth day was complete. By the seventh day, God had finished the work he had been doing. The creation was complete. Heaven and earth were finished in all their vast array. Everything that needed to be made had been made. Every creature was in its place. Every system was functioning. Every purpose was established. So on the seventh day, God rested from all his work. This rest was not because he was tired or weary, for God does not grow faint or exhausted. Rather, it was a rest of completion and satisfaction, a ceasing from creative activity because the work was done. God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, setting it apart from the other 6 days. He made it sacred and special because on it he rested from all the work of creating that he had done. This day became a pattern and a gift, a rhythm of work and